Article 23 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The crushing of workers' rights under Xi Jinping's tyranny. 1. Everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work and to protection against unemployment. 2. Everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. 3. Everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity, and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. 4. Everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interests. Now ask yourself, do these rights exist in Xi Jinping's China? No. Not in practice. Not in spirit. Not in law. And certainly not in the brutal machinery of his dictatorship. In Xi Jinping's China, workers are nothing but disposable parts in the Chinese Communist Party state's vast economic engine, cheap, silenced, and expendable. The right to organize? Crushed under armored boots. The right to fair pay? Sacrificed to enrich the CCP cronies. The right to work under dignified conditions? Spat on by a regime that treats profit and obedience as more important than human life. Workers who dare to resist are destroyed. Take the JASIC technology case in Shenzhen. In 2018, factory workers tried legally to form an independent trade union. Their wages were low, working hours punishing, and management corruption rampant. But instead of protection, they were met with beatings, kidnappings, and arbitrary arrests. The regime turned state violence on young supporters, many of whom were students simply advocating for basic labor rights. Xi Jinping's government responded with a crackdown that silenced them through surveillance, detention, and disappearances. Some haven't been heard from since. That's not governance. That's tyranny in a business suit. Forced labor in plain sight. The CCP's so-called poverty alleviation schemes have, in reality, become a tool for forced labor. Under Xi Jinping's orders, local officials in poor provinces force rural families into low-wage labor programs. Refusal often means being cut off from basic subsidies. It's coercion masquerading as policy. And it's happening not in the shadows, but in plain sight before a world too timid to speak. Foxconn workers, thousands of them, have revolted over unpaid wages, locked dormitories, and COVID restrictions that turned factories into open-air prisons. The CCP didn't negotiate. It deployed riot police. Because Xi Jinping's China doesn't bargain. It dictates. No right to organize, only the right to obey. Independent labor unions are illegal. The only union allowed is the All China Federation of Trade Unions, a CCP-controlled puppet that protects employers, not workers. It doesn't represent labor, it suppresses it. It's a tool of control, used to monitor grievances and punish dissent. Xi Jinping has turned this system into a digital panopticon of fear, of censorship, of total submission. A leader obsessed not with lifting the people, but with bending them to his will. He's not a reformer. He's not a visionary. He's a despot obsessed with loyalty, allergic to truth, and terrified of freedom. The illusion of prosperity is cracking. China's economy is slowing. Youth unemployment is soaring. Entire sectors, education, tech, housing, have been wrecked by top-down ideological campaigns. Xi Jinping doesn't build a future, he punishes initiative, suffocates talent, and enforces poverty disguised as common prosperity. Ask the millions of delivery workers battling impossible algorithms, endless shifts, and zero protection if they feel prosperous. Ask the factory hands slaving 12-hour shifts while their wages are siphoned off by corrupt officials. Ask the growing number of workers whose voices are censored before they even speak. Xi Jinping has built a dictatorship disguised as a nation. One that exploits its own people, crushes their dignity, and demands their gratitude in return. It's time to rise. To every individual forced into silence, to every worker stripped of dignity, to every young person facing a future of submission, you are not alone. The world has betrayed you with its cowardice, but you still have your voice, your mind, your will. And it is time to fight. The right to work is not a privilege, it is a right. The right to organize is not a crime, it is freedom. The right to live with dignity is not a dream, it is a necessity. Xi Jinping fears one thing more than anything else: an awakened people. A people who refuse to kneel. A people who no longer accept lies wrapped in slogans, and chains wrapped in flags. Enough fear. Enough silence. Stand up. Speak out. Resist. Because nothing changes until we do.